In this video, we're going to work through some real exam problems on mathematical induction. As always, pause the video and try these first and see how you do. Okay, prove by mathematical induction that for all positive integers n, 7 to the 2n plus 97 to the n minus 50 is divisible by 48. Okay, let's go. N equals 1. What do we get? We get 7 to the power of 2 plus 97 minus 50. And that's 47 plus 49. 47 plus 49 is 96. And that is 2 times 48. So that's done. So therefore, true for n equals 1. Okay, now the inductive hypothesis. And typically I would say, therefore, this is 48 times something. It's easier algebraically to do it. So times m, where m is some integer. Okay, now we're investigating what happens when we raise k to k plus 1. So we get 2k plus 2 here when we replace k with k plus 1. We have 97 to the k plus 1 minus 50. Now, remember what we're trying to do here. We're trying to sort of hack out bits of this. So how many of these do I get? Well, let's just separate this out into 7 squared times 2 to the k, 7 to the 2k. So that's going to be 49 times 7 to the 2k. And then here I can replace that, not replace it, I can just express it as 97 lots of 97 to the k minus 50. And why is that useful? Well, I can pull out quite a big factor of this. I've got 49 of the thing I want there. I've got 97 of the thing I want there. So I can definitely get 49 of them. So here's what I mean. Let's steal 49 of these. So that deals with all of that. Let's get 49 of these, of the 97 to the k's, and let's put a minus 50 in there. And now let's think, how do I need to correct this? I know that this is divisible by 48. That's my inductive assumption. But I've got to clean up. I've got all of these. Now, I only had 49 of the 97 to the k's, but I need 97 of them. So I need another 48 of them. That's convenient because 49 plus 48 is 97. And then, well, I only wanted one negative 50, but I got 49 negative 50s. So I better add in 48 lots of negative 50, or sorry, 50 to clean up, because 49 negative 50s plus 48 50s gets me a single negative 50. Okay, but this is great because this is divisible by 48, because by my inductive assumption, all of that is just 48m. And this is divisible by 48 because I can factorize 48 out of it. That's 48 times 97 to the k plus 48 times 50. So to really spell it out, pull out 48 from here, leaving me with 49m plus 97 to the k plus 50. And we're done. That's divisible by 48. Therefore, divisible by 48. So then I just finish with the same stock conclusion that I'll use for all of these. True for n equals 1. We did that up here. We've also shown that if it's true for n equals k, then it's true for n equals k plus 1. So it's true for all positive integers n by induction. And we're done. Okay, now a differentiation one. So again, have a go at this yourself. So this is a little bit more general than ones we've seen before. So a function is defined such that the second derivative is equal to the original function. So you could have a think about what sort of function that would be like. Now, it doesn't really matter for this, by thinking the solutions to this are something like e to the x and e to the minus x, multiples of those. But we're not going to use that fact here. Prove by mathematical induction that for every positive integer n, this is true. Okay, so our base case, n equals 1. So when n equals 1, we're looking for, well, 2n minus 1 is 1. So we're looking for the first derivative of that. So the first derivative of x, f of x. So that's just the product rule. So the product rule, that's uv, so it's u v dash plus v dash, which is just 1 u. Is this what we want? Well, we've got the x, f dash of x, yep, plus 2n minus 1, which when n equals 1 is just 1 f of x. So that's true for n equals 1. Okay, so it's true for n equals 1. Now we assume it's true for n equals k. Here's what we're stating. Okay, this is one of those ones where we want to show it's true for n equals k plus 1. But if you replace k with k plus 1 here, you get 2k plus 1, which is 2 more than this, right? If you differentiate this once, you'll get the 2kth derivative. And if you differentiate again, you get the 2k plus 1 derivative. So I have to differentiate this twice. So differentiating it once gets d2k by dx to the 2k. And we're just going to use product rule here. So uv, so it's u v dash plus u dash, which is 1 v. Differentiating this, that's just a multiple of f of x, so that's just going to be the same multiple of f dash of x. Okay, we can neaten this up. I can use the definition that the second derivative of x is just f of x. So x f of x. And now how many first derivatives have I got? Well, it's 2k minus 1 of them plus 1 of them. So it's just 2k of them. So plus 2k f dash of x. Now I can differentiate again. So this is getting me the term I really want, that d2k plus 1 by dx to the 2k plus 1 of my original x f of x. Product rule, uv, so u v dash plus u dash, which is 1 v. And then here, well, it's just 2k lots of the second derivative, which by definition is just the original function. So I've got my x f dashed of x, and then I've got 2k lots of f of x plus 1 f of x. So in total, that's 2k plus 1 lots of f of x. Of course, I've just replaced that f dash double dash of x with f of x because of this definition. Now, this is what we wanted, right? Because we've shown that it's exactly the same as this, but the k there is replaced with k plus 1, right? Because that is 2 times k plus 1 minus 1 is 2k plus 1. This is just k replaced with k plus 1. So it is true for k plus 1 if it's true for k. Same conclusions as always. I mean, you want to check that it wasn't true for like even integers or something weird, but it's just for all positive integers, so same conclusion as always. And we're done with that question. Okay, last one here. We've got slightly unusual sequence problems. So a sequence of positive numbers, u1, u2, u3, such that u1 is greater than 4, and for all n greater than or equal to 1, which are obviously integers because it's terms of a sequence, we've got a term-by-term definition. So we've got un plus 1 is un squared plus un plus 12 over 2un. Okay, by considering un plus 1 minus 4, or otherwise, prove by mathematical induction that un is always greater than 4. Okay, well, so the clue here would probably be that I know that u1 is always greater than 4. If I can show that all subsequent terms minus 4 are always positive, well, that would show that all subsequent terms are greater than 4. So let's see. The base case is clearly true. I've just told us that it's true. So n equals 1, well, u1 is greater than 4. So true for n equals 1. Now, we've got to be careful here. So assume Assume it's true for n equals k. So we're assuming that uk is always greater than 4, and therefore the little nudge is that uk minus 4 is always positive. And let's focus on that one. So let's explore uk plus 1 minus 4. We're hoping to try to show that that is always positive. So what is it? Well, using this definition here, it's uk squared plus uk plus 12 all over 2 uk and a minus 4. It's going to be much easier if this is all has a common denominator. So I can just express that as 8 uk over 2 uk. So that gives me uk squared plus, well, it's this plus the 8, no, minus the 8 uk from there. So that's minus 7 uk plus 12 over 2 uk. Continuing over here, well, look, I can see that that numerator there factorizes. So we have, yeah, it does. Look, that's uk minus 3 and uk minus 4 all over 2 uk. But look, if I've assumed that uk is greater than 4, then uk minus 3 is greater than is positive, and uk minus 4 is positive. Look, uk minus 4 is positive. And then, of course, uk is also positive because it's greater than 4. So I can just spell that out. I can say uk minus 3 is positive, uk minus 4 is positive, and uk is positive. Therefore, the whole thing here, which is in fact uk plus 1 minus 4, is positive as required. Even write that little celebration, as required. And therefore we're done. It's true for n equals 1, and if it's true for n equals k, it's true for all n equals k plus 1, so it's true for all positive integers n. Okay, now on to part B. Show that un plus 1 is less than un for all positive integers n. It's not clear if we're going to use induction here. Let's find out. So I suppose I'm just seeing, is this expression always less than un? Well, let's explore. So this here, un squared plus un plus 12 over 2un. Well, I've been given a little clue above about considering negatives here. What I'm actually going to explore is un plus 1 minus un, and I'm going to see if I can show that that's negative. So let's just subtract un. Okay, let's combine this by giving this a common denominator, and let's call that un squared, no, 2un squared over un squared. And I'm going to rush this because it'd be easy to mess this up. So un squared plus un plus 12, and then over 2un, and then let's call that minus 2un squared over un. So what does that give us? It gives us minus un squared plus un plus 12 over 2un. Does that factorize? A bit hard to see, so let's pull out a factor of minus 1 from the top, giving me minus un squared, no, minus, and then brackets, un squared minus un minus 12. And I think I'm going to use a little factorization trick again, because that is, this does factorize, right? This is un minus 4, and then un plus 3. Okay, and I think this is where we want it to be, because un minus 1 is positive, un minus 4, sorry, is positive, because we've proved that it's always greater than 4. Un plus 3 is always positive, and un is always positive, and therefore the whole thing is negative. So we can say that un minus 4 is positive, un plus 3 is always positive, un is always positive, and therefore this whole expression here, which was, recall, un plus 1 minus un, is always negative, and therefore un plus 1 is always less than un. So no induction needed on that final one, but we've proved that this is a decreasing sequence because each term is smaller than the last. So nice little extension beyond standard induction there. Okay, hope that was useful, and I'll see you all soon.